There's a concept that you can implement at the beginning of your cold call, which is to confirm that the prospect is available. Now, this is actually a debatable topic, with probably about half of the sales community saying that you should not try to confirm availability, and the other half saying it's very good to confirm availability. I'll just let you know, I believe in confirming availability at the beginning of the cold call. Let's dig into this real quickly a little deeper. So why do so many people say don't confirm availability? Well, their argument is if you ask the prospect if they're busy or if they're available, this creates an opportunity for them to give you an objection. You're basically giving them an opportunity to say, I'm busy or I'm not available to talk to you. So why give them that opportunity? And because of that, their core belief is to just power through. Don't ask if they're available. Power through until the prospect tells you that they're not available. Now, my core belief is that you should always start every cold call by confirming availability. And the reason why is because you want to identify how busy the prospect is. Remember, we know that the prospect's busy, so we don't need to necessarily ask, are you busy? Because we're operating with the assumption that prospects are extremely busy. But what we want to find out is how busy is the prospect? Is the prospect normal busy or is the prospect crazy busy? If we identify that the prospect is normal busy, then we try to continue to proceed. But if the prospect is crazy busy, then that's not going to be a good time for us to even try to execute on our cold call, and we might want to stop and try to regroup on another day. I'll give you an example. Crazy busy would be that the prospect is in the middle of a meeting and for some reason they answered your phone. Maybe they thought you were someone else. That's not going to be a good time for you to do your cold call. So don't even try. And by confirming availability, we will identify where the prospect is between normal busy and crazy busy. I mentioned that one of our goals at the beginning of the cold call is to try to buy a window of time that we can operate in and try to accomplish the different things that we need to do during the cold call. And confirming availability is one way to buy you that window of time. I personally believe confirming availability helps you to build rapport. When you confirm availability, you're communicating to the prospect, I understand that you're likely busy or that your day is typically very busy, and I want to check to see how busy you are before I try to take any of your time. And that's a small gesture that can help to build rapport. Now, the key thing here is, how are you checking to confirm availability with the prospect? Obviously, you're going to ask some sort of question, and there's a lot of questions that many salespeople ask that are not great. For example, asking, is this a good time to talk? Remember, we are assuming that prospects are extremely busy. So it's probably never really a good time to talk. So don't ask, did I catch you at a bad time? Also, a bad time is somewhat negative language, so I don't really like using bad time. Are you busy right now? We know that they're busy. Do you have a minute to talk? You likely need more than a minute to talk, so be more clear on what you're asking for. Do you have a few minutes? That's probably going in a better direction. Have I caught you in the middle of anything? So this is the way I like to confirm availability. Asking this exact question phrased in this way. Have I caught you in the middle of anything? So let's dig into this on why I recommend you confirm availability with this question. So have I caught you in the middle of anything? First of all, I believe this question gets a more accurate read than asking, are you busy? We know that they're busy. We want to find out just how busy they are. In the middle of something means, are you in the middle of doing something that I should not try to distract you from? Are you in a meeting? Are you talking to someone else? Are you fighting some sort of fire that you're not really able to talk about anything else? So this is a good question that gives you more information than just asking, are they busy? The other thing that's really powerful about this question is that it's more of a familiar question, more casual, less salesy. In other words, it's less formal and less professional. Now, this is a little counterintuitive because you may think, I want to be very professional and be very formal when cold calling and talking to these prospects. But the reality is that when you're really formal and professional, that can make you look more like a salesperson that's trying to sell something, and that can trigger more guardedness. When you're more casual and more familiar, communicating in a way that another coworker might talk to them, hey, have I caught you in the middle of anything? That can actually decrease the level of guardedness and make someone more comfortable with you at the beginning of a cold call. This could also be viewed as a pattern interrupt. Pattern interrupt is saying something that forces someone to get out of their autopilot routine. So when someone does the same thing every day, they can often perform actions without really paying attention or thinking about it. Think about one day where you drove home from work or drove somewhere where you go very frequently, journey, and you might not have had to pay attention and think about the different turns you make, and the next thing you know, you're there. That's an example of operating on autopilot. And so if all the calls that they receive that are begin with a question of like, are you busy, or how are you doing today? And then you ask a different question, which this question is typically different than what most people ask, which is, have I caught you in the middle of anything? It can force the prospect to sort of switch off autopilot and pay attention to what you're saying and get more engaged. Like I've said already, I believe confirming availability with this question creates rapport. Not only does it show respect and show that you understand them, but when you add in the fact that this question is more of a communicating in a very familiar, casual way, it begins to create a little bit more rapport in a very quick moment between you and the prospect.